Yeah.
Oh, he's not coming.
Haven't seen him here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We'll call the meeting to order. It is now 7:02, and present tonight is Joe Tolosano, Bill Meyer, Michael Parker, and we have with us Bud Noor and Mike Marinaccio and Brian.
And you?
Our good accountant and secretary, A. Okay, so I guess we're supposed to have a Board of Education update?
Here.
They have a Board of Education meeting tonight. I didn't hear from him.
Okay. Okay, so then, but why don't we get the selectmen's update?
Yeah, I just have one announcement. In your package, you received a letter that I received on the 21st of September, announcing that Summers has received the Government Finance Officers Association Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting with Donna Summers. This is the 17th Street here. We received this award. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting, and financial reporting. Its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government and its management. Kudos go to Michael Marinaccio and Brian Wissinger for their financial stewardship of the town. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you
Good job.
very much
Yes,
for the
great job, Bill.
great job that you've been doing. Okay.
It's like night and day between what we used to have for financial guidance and what we have today. It really is.
Appreciate that.
Really great. So, do we have an update now from you, Mike, CFO?
Yeah, I have a few items. One is I sent out to you in advance the S&P Global Rating,
Yes.
which is rated as AA plus. Just a few highlights. Really, their overview says that the town reserves, second paragraph, have steadily grown over the past few years to levels that they consider very strong. And they believe that the high reserve levels, along with low fixed costs, provide rating stability in an uncertain environment. They do talk a lot about COVID-19. They did talk about that quite a bit in the ratings call. The chart that you have, just want to show you that it comes behind this here, shows you that we've actually gone up a step in our rating. We were AA2 with Moody's, and we're AA plus with S&P. So we're basically one right underneath the very top. And there really is most likely never really the possibility of a town our size ever achieving that top level without having a high level of commerce, transportation, network, airports, train stations, whatever. So I think that we've done a pretty good thing. One of the discussions we had with their rating team was procedures and policies, and I told them that they were in draft, and they said, well, would we be able to get copies of those when they're done? And I said, absolutely. Actually, the whole suite of them, or the most important ones, are on my desk right now. I'm going to be circulating them within the next month for the Board of Finance to review and comment on before they're finalized. So
Mike, is that our highest rating we've ever gotten?
that is the highest rating that we've ever gotten in this town, yes.
Great. Thanks again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes.
No, it's great news. I definitely think it's going to get the taxpayers a better rate for the long-term debt we're issuing and stuff, and I think it's
The next step is
Yes.
great. Now, Mike, just while we're on this topic, reading through it, I see we did, very strong economy, very strong budget flexibility, et cetera, but we only got rated adequate for management and budgetary performance, and I know that from what I'm told historically, that you walked into a very difficult situation, and we made a lot of strides, and I think some of those strides were recognized here.
Yeah.
But it looks like we still have some more room to go. As far as a plan You know, like they say that we need to get some more key policies that we're missing and
Yeah.
things like that.
That's what it's
We
like.
understood that.
Okay.
We had that discussion with them, and they're trying to be objective when they say
Yeah.
that. And I accept that. You know, but I don't think the term adequate should be even considered negative. I mean, it's, you know, in many ways, it is considered competent or capable. Auditors use it all the time when they're looking at systems and they're
Yeah.
evaluating them. They say that the controls are adequate. So that means they're not inadequate. And I guess they could say management was outstanding here, and we still have a double A plus.
Yeah, no,
So,
the rating
yeah,
is high, and I think that
So,
speaks for itself. but-
You know, I don't, I take their comments, I don't take their comments lightly. I think, you know, double A plus is the highest rating we could get.
Mhm.
So I have no doubt that we're beyond that. And, you know, when they're talking about that, I don't think they're just focusing in on the finance department either. They're focusing in on the town as a unit,
Yeah,
you know, at the Board of Finance, the Board of Selectmen, and the Finance Department, and where are you going as a group. So they gave some pretty high marks when it came to budgetary flexibility. I mean, they used a lot of good phrases in here, strong liquidity, strong debt. So those things take longer to correct than fixing the fact that we have draft policies. So,
yeah. Because I did pull other examples of ratings just to see what language, they use different language, you know,
Yeah.
in different ratings that they've done. You know, I mean, some, you know, like West Hartford, of course, which is a different town, but, you know, they're very strong for management. You know, they use
of course
different.
they are. Yeah.
But so we do have a plan then to move forward and correct, you know, to strengthen our policies, and understanding everyone can always improve.
Oh,
Even West
absolutely.
Hartford can improve.
Absolutely. We have,
Okay. I mean, is there involvement though with the boards? I mean, the Board of Selectmen, the Board of Finance, are we involved in drafting these policies or?
no, I'm involved in researching them from other towns. I will circulate them to you for
Okay.
comment.
That'd be great.
And then you'll have a chance to comment on them.
Yeah, okay.
And
that
then
sounds
once this group approves them, they'll move on to the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
But for the policies that we're looking at, they're really financial policies, and they're under the purview of the Board of Finance.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, again, the colored chart is the colored chart.
Whatever
last-
happened to did we ever get the policy on the bonuses? Did you
Yes.
guys ever finish up?
That's been vetted with both our labor attorney and our town attorney.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to.
No, that's fine. Just to give you an idea as to what Bill was kind of talking about, I envision in the end a three-part policy manual. Part one will be all the financial policies, your debt management policy, your investment policy, your reserve policy, things that are important to our metrics.
Yeah.
That the Board of Finance would have comments on. Part number two is going to be IT policies, use of IT, use of technology, all the technology policies that we have in different places right now. So they're not together in a manual. And then we have policy recommendations from Bloom Shapiro. So we're going to develop that out. And then part three is we have bits and pieces of operational policies in tax and in assessor and in accounting and in accounts payable and payroll. None of that is together in one place, and none of that's been pulled together, and that would be part three of our manual. So it'll be a three-part effort. It's going to take time to pull it together, but what I wanted to get done first was the financial policies. They were very close to being done and drafted on my desk, and then we went into the COVID-19 situation. So
And I mean, I would recommend too, and I see Ellington just did it, putting the policies online so that they're easily accessible to everyone, putting them on the town website, all department heads, taxpayers, board members, everyone has easy access. Once they're finally approved, of course.
goes without saying.
Yeah. But I don't think we have any policies online right now, though.
I don't think we
No.
do.
Okay, so it just, I mean, I agree. I mean, we're on the same page 100%.
Yeah. The final piece that I have to talk about that I gave you is it's called the bond issue summary.
Yeah.
It's actually like the fourth page in our preliminary official statement. And it's that preliminary official statement is up on the web page. It's 100, no, maybe it's what, 75 pages or something. Pretty big volume.
Over 100, actually.
Over 100?
Yeah, it was pretty big.
So, but this kind of sums the whole bond issue up. We're having a sale on this Wednesday, the 30th, at 11:30 in the morning. This has already been sent out. The bid requests or the RFPs have been sent out. The bids will be opened by our financial advisor online at 11:30. And by 11:45, we'll know who the low bidder is. It's a 9.405 million GO bond. Its term will be for 20 years to 2040. It says here that the town was rated AA+ by S&P. Says the basis of the award will be the TIC, the lowest true interest cost. And the closing will be on October 15th. That's when they'll close it and the cash will be exchanged. So this just summarizes what the issuance is. And then the rest of the preliminary statement. It's a very informative document if you want to see it online. Has a lot of information in it, a lot of detail. So.
Who's our advisor, Mike? Our municipal advisor?
Who's our advisor?
Yeah.
Financial? Hilltop Security.
Oh, that's right.
It's, in fact, it says, this is the last one at the bottom, it says municipal advisor. And our legal counsel is Updike, Kelly, and Spellacy. So everything we did and everything we do has to go through both of them
Yep.
prior to going out for this. And they even have a tax attorney that reviews everything for the tax exempt status of the bonds. So that's it for me. Unless there's questions on any of this.
Okay, thank you. Who's gonna do the CIP update? Are you gonna do
We've
that?
got budget to actual still in the
Yeah,
CFO.
Brian was doing the budget.
Oh,
I'm
CFO,
sorry.
okay.
It was my
Sorry,
portion,
Brian.
not-
Right here.
So you got, first, just a summary page showing revenues and expenditures, where we stand to budget. We are trending ahead in revenues compared to what the trend line would be at 25%. We're sitting at 37.75% collected, and trending low on expenditures compared to a 25% first quarter spend rate. Revenue collections are consistent with prior years, usually because you get front loaded with taxes in July and then they start to slow down. As of the date of this report, which was Thursday, September 24th, no state aid has been received by the town. We historically receive our first state aid payments in October with pilot and municipal stabilization, and the first part of the education monies. Then in December we get the first Mohegan Pequot money. So everything begins to flow in the second quarter.
So the Board of Ed seems to be
The Board of Ed
stable,
is,
or
the Board of
we
Ed
don't
seems
really
to be
know
very
yet?
stable. They're actually lower than they would historically be at this rate due to the late start of school.
Right.
So all the cleaning that they need, all that stuff is.
All of that
Right.
stuff.
Right.
So actually, Bud asked me about it earlier today about where they were projecting their expenses, and I haven't heard them looking to spend any additional monies at this time because they went with the hybrid model. They didn't need to hire more staff
Right.
and so forth. They're cleaning with their own janitors that they have because they don't have many people in the building, so they're not cleaning
Great.
40 times a day and
Right.
so forth.
Have you heard anything about the Pequot funds? I mean, it's no secret the casinos are closed, and I mean, they're directly tied to revenue. Has there been anything about a
I
decrease?
haven't heard anything.
Because we're heavily dependent on that.
They really are. And
Well, we
I-
are, though. I mean, as a town.
Yeah, I mean it's
I
it's
think-
$1.5
I
million.
think every town is,
Not as much as Summers is high. The way how the formula is, we get a lot of money.
Yeah, it's almost 2
There's a
mils.
percentage of our budget.
Yeah, it's worth almost 2 mils.
But that budget's been passed,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's not like they can't.
No, it's a
I mean, they
special
could
fund.
they'd have to go back to the
That's why
legislature.
we ran into trouble. He decided to, well, actually, you're right, the budget was not passed, and so he kind of like, through executive order, took
Yeah.
over and commandeered the whole process and said, this is what the grants are gonna be. And that's when we got all those grant reductions. But right now, I mean, we've got a certain allocation we're expecting it.
I haven't heard.
I think what we worry about is the next 2-year budget.
That's
coming
gonna
up.
be a different ballgame.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why the reserves.
Isn't there a fair amount of delay between the revenue basis and when we actually find that coming into our coffers? I mean, as far
Yeah,
as
well,
the
right now, we
casinos-
got one whole quarter where we haven't received a penny of the money we were supposed to get.
But that's,
Really?
that's
Yeah.
traditional though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's not
Second
uncommon.
quarter.
Well, no,
No.
no.
But there's a statute for the casino fund. I'm not an expert on it, but I understand that there's no state money put into that account. It only comes from the casino, and then it's redistributed based on how much state property you have and blah, 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 blah. So I don't think the state subsidizes it at all.
Yeah.
But how much time is there between the
Yeah.
funding computation and
Right.
when it gets fitted
That's-
into
I
our
don't
budget?
know.
I mean, like, are they going off 2018 revenues or
Right.
2019
Right.
revenues?
I think he went off last year's. I think he
Does
played
it go off
last.
last year?
I think that's what he did under executive authority. He went off last year's number.
So they just may come to the table in the next budget round and say, guess what? There's no Pequot money. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
have
That's
very-
what I was asking. That's one I really worry
I
about.
actually have a
Yeah, that's
CCM
one
meeting
that I
tomorrow,
keep
a
an
Zoom
eye on
meeting,
for
the
sure.
Finance Audit Committee of the CCM.
Yeah.
Actually, we talk about setting up the agenda for the next legislative session, what towns want to.
But a lot of
I'll
towns,
raise that
to your
issue.
point, rely on that funding, and a lot of towns operate month to month. We don't.
Yeah.
So the whole state would be, municipal government would be in trouble. And that's why they have reserves, the state. So I think he's
Right.
gotta honor it, because that, to your point, it's a major component of our budget.
You'd have to issue another executive order where the statute's written. Again, I'd be interested to see what they say, because the statute, there's no state money involved. It's only from the casinos to this fund to us.
Yeah.
So I hope they do. I mean,
I think he would have to,
yeah.
because some towns will go under without it.
Well, the ones near the casino really are reliant, 'cause they get extra. Okay, thank you.
And as of now, I haven't got the Board of Education numbers yet. I'm still waiting for them to send them over. But for the town side, first quarter COVID-19 expenses are $4,648. Beginning the review process, one big chunk of that is guards that we bought for the elections. It's probably 50% of it, to be honest with you. Based on conversations that I've had with FEMA, it doesn't look like those will be reimbursable. So I don't have high hopes for a lot of that 4,600 being reimbursable. So they'll probably the expenses will get transferred to appropriate budgetary line items in the second quarter once we've reviewed them.
When you say appropriate, you mean like registrar? or something?
Right, so like
Would
right
that be
now it's in a
offset?
registrar COVID account.
Yep.
And then if it's deemed non-reimbursable, then it'll get moved into a regular registrar account.
So the Secretary of State money that's coming in for elections, I mean, don't they think that that's covering some of this?
They're expecting that to cover additional staffing and additional equipment that they had to purchase, the labels that they had to purchase, all the additional mail-in ballots they had to purchase. Normally they purchase 200 mail-in ballots. This year they purchased 2,000. So they're expecting those state monies to offset those additional costs. And then the other pages are just your line items that make up the summary page on the front and the COVID expenses, so that you can actually see each line item and what the COVID expenses are by grouping.
Any questions or on this? We're looking it over, but should we move on?
I'm good.
Or you want to look at the expenditures?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
No, I had a chance to review it in advance of the meeting, so that was good, yeah.
okay. So then, where we are now is the CIP update.
There was a meeting last Thursday night. The town wanted about $90,000 for upgrades to its computer equipment, software, firewalls, battery backups, everything to bring the system forward. It's been more than 5 years, I guess, since they had any upgrades.
Security also.
This is consistent with the lifespan of most of this stuff. The board, the CIP board approved the expenditure based on the representation that those funds were going to come from LoCIP monies. There was another smaller request that we approved also,
Air conditioning, split
the
system.
air conditioning unit for the, I guess it's the Veterans Office, is that
Yes.
right? Part of the town hall, which is, I guess, not heated or properly air condensed. So that was about, was it 5,000 and some dollars? but
5,200, yeah.
The school, folks had an overage in one of their capital accounts, and it was agreed to apply that overage to this project. So it, neither project results in a net attack on any of the capital accounts that we have. So those are the two items that the board recommended that the Board of Finance adopt. Joe, you were there. Do you have any?
No, I think you did a great summary.
We're buying this, I know we had asked the question, but we're buying this through a purchasing consortium.
It's a purchasing consortium that's also on the Connecticut State contract listing.
Perfect. I see, and I only got this right now, I'm just looking through it briefly, but it includes a trade-in for the old hardware. What's the amount of the credit that we're getting?
On the old hardware, computer-wise,
Yeah, it says here, cost, and, Whaley computer, 71,000, Lucy security, installation, 8,500, so it includes a trade-in for the old hardware.
I think he's just kind of netting it out. I don't think there's any necessarily value there. He takes a lot of the old equipment and recycles it away, so he gives us a discount on the installation and cost. That's Tristan's cost. That Wally won't give us. They won't take any old hardware back. So that's him taking it and knowing that he can destroy it and get $200 for it. So reducing our cost.
They pay us at the system to take it, only because there's precious metals in there.
Yeah.
But it's like pennies on a
Okay.
computer, pennies.
Okay.
It's actually a gift when they take it away, because you just can't get rid of that
To
stuff.
destroy it, you have to pay to destroy it. No, I do it too. I know you do it. You live in
Yeah.
that world, yeah.
Yep, so it's actually good that they're doing all that.
Do we have as part of the policies that we're writing, it just kind of jogs my memory, an asset disposal policy for the town? I mean, typically the Board of Selectmen, I think, would approve it, but I mean, just how we would,
Yeah. Well, they
Board of
normally
Finance.
approve any asset we dispose of. It's
Yeah.
I mean, we really do need a policy on that. I mean, it's a very important policy, just to make sure that people aren't taking it home,
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you talk asset, you mean computer asset.
Anything, you said a dollar amount, $1,000 or 500
Most
or
of
10,000,
the
whatever.
capital stuff in Public Works, we trade in.
Yeah.
We don't get rid of
Yeah.
it.
But just a policy, I mean, typically you'll bring it before the board, Board of Selectmen or Board of whoever has the jurisdiction to get permission to sell it, trade it in, whatever.
And currently we
We've
do.
done
It goes
that.
in front of the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
But I don't think we have
Anything
any
that has a
actual.
residual value, some stuff just gets,
Yeah.
Oh, I
We'll look at
understand.
like
All of the
the.
purchases of vehicles and
yeah.
fire trucks, police cars, things like that, we've always talked about what the trade-in value was.
No, of course.
Sold
And they,
piece of equipment.
before Todd lists it, a lot of that stuff, you take a dump truck or fire engine or something like that. Before he lists it, he gets Board of Selectmen approval. We put it on there's a website he uses, and then once it's sold, we report it back, and the monies go back into the capital fund as well.
No, that would be a good policy, just to be clear.
Yeah.
I know that that's been the practice a lot, but just to formalize it,
Yeah,
so
formalize
no one
it.
takes it home or,
Yep.
anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
So we would need a motion to
I-
approve those two
thank you.
projects.
I
Make
was
a
gonna-
motion.
I'm just gonna call for that motion. Motion?
Second?
All right, we have All right, now, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Okay.
Okay. Next is.
Transfers and appropriations. I don't know if this got out to you last week or not. I really don't remember.
I didn't see
All right, so the library is requesting to transfer monies from their printed materials to their technology line, $3,586.50, to purchase and install a new phone system. Their current phone system is not functioning properly. They haven't had voicemail for pushing 6 months now. There are times that the phone rings, they answer it, and the other person on the other end of the phone can't hear them. This would upgrade them to a voice over IP system, like the rest of the town has, with the exception of the fire department, and would cover all installation. They're paying for it within their budget. They just want to transfer the funds over to the appropriate line item.
Wouldn't this be something we would use that capital contingency funds for, or no?
It doesn't meet the capital threshold,
Okay.
both
Yeah.
monetarily and a lot of those are, it's one item is more than 5,000, and this is 20 phones that isn't even 5,000.
So, want to call for a vote?
Make a motion, we accept the transfer as presented, library.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes. Do you want me to sign these forms for the library and for?
Yeah, I've got the originals over here.
Okay, that would be better.
I'll get them at the end.
Thank you.
If you have a pen, all I have is a
I have a
pencil.
pen. And now, anything else before us? We've just done transfers, is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Is there any other business to bring before the?
We have a bunch of minutes, do we?
Yeah, we do, and they keep
Looking to
growing.
see.
Actually, we can do the 12th, May 12th.
We can do May 12th now.
Make a
I
motion.
can't vote on the 22nd.
Make a motion to accept the May 12th minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
June 22nd. Let's see.
Yeah, I wasn't at that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we still got. We got
That
enough.
one's gonna have to wait.
We've got enough. Normally we only have 2. Was the problem. Now we have at least 3 people.
So 3 people can vote on it?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear the motion.
Which one, that's for?
22nd. June 22nd.
22nd.
Make a motion to accept those as presented.
Okay, Michael?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now it's July 27th.
Okay, we can vote on those, same 4 of us.
Looks
Yeah.
like
Make a motion to accept those as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the 27th is over. Now we're on August 30.
Everybody was here for that meeting.
Yep,
so.
you got it.
Okay, make a motion to accept the 31st minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, passed.
Got them all done.
All cleaned up.
Yeah, all done. Back to 0.
It's a real test to try to figure out which ones are still open, so that's a good thing.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It closes at 7:30.
Nice job.